Oh, my hair. Hey guys. Hey everyone. Welcome to tonight's stream. A couple things I want to say before we get started is yes, that is me and Sean in the thumbnail. That is literally 2009. Yeah, that's like 2009. Back when I was super skinte and
You're still pretty small.
we were that was right before Sean's deployment.
Afghanistan.
Let me post on Twitter.
Yeah, that was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yes.
So, and it's weird because in some ways it feels like it was so long ago, like another time. You know what I'm saying? Like another lifetime.
So wild.
But then it feels like it was yesterday sometimes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on how you think about it. It's weird. How y'all doing? Thank y'all. Somebody said that their husband's wounded combat veteran.
Really? I'm sorry about that.
How was he wounded?
I mean, you don't have to say if you don't want to, but he's got the Roku remote. She's got the Roku remote.
She keeps getting it.
What are you doing?
Yeah, stop that. She's bad.
She's a little bad. I keep calling her he. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Ashley. I keep calling her he because I've actually called her Sonny a couple times too. Just sorry. Hey, everyone. So a couple things I want to say before we get started is
this gonna reach? Is this charger gonna reach?
For you? Maybe.
No, probably not. So I want to
no, probably not.
I might go get the long one. I'm sorry. You keep them.
I think I don't know if I can handle it, babe. Okay, so this is a hangout stream with me and my husband. This is not one of my professional streams where I'm giving you guys gossip and tea. This is just me hanging out because I love my followers so much and I don't get to talk to y'all that much when I'm posting videos. You guys comment, I try to respond, but I like to just hang out with y'all. So that's why I do these live streams. They are not professional live streams. So if it irritates you that I'm playing with my hair and that I'm drinking on my streams, these kind of streams may not be for you. Maybe just stick to my pre-recorded streams where I'm not drinking and possibly eating and maybe playing with my hair a whole lot. My hands, even in those pre-recorded streams though, they kind of I move my hands a lot. And sometimes when I'm talking, I see myself, right, when I record. So if I see that my hair is a little wonky, I'll fix it just because I want to look my best on camera, right? But I know there's been a couple people at times throughout this say, oh my God, this is so unprofessional. I don't like to watch somebody that's eating and drinking and you play with your hair too much. And I always have to go in the comments to say, I get it. These lives may not be for everyone. These are my hangout chit chat lives. These are not what probably 99.9% of you guys subscribe to my channel for. You guys probably subscribed for the reality TV news and gossip. I know that, but I just like these.
That's what I was. That's what I originally enlisted in. 19 Delta Cav Scout.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Then I went to infantry. Reclassified as infantry before I went to Afghanistan and went to an infantry unit. So I actually hold 2 MOSs, 19 Delta and infantry. So you know who should have a day though?
Who?
The wives. Like you got Veterans Day, right? So the wives that are loyal, the few and far between that are loyal to military personnel, should definitely have a day. And the mothers.
I can agree with that as well. I was with Sean for one tour, Afghanistan, and this was before we had, any biological children between me and him. This was he deployed 3 months after we got married. He was close to Paris and Caden. Caden actually thought pretty much that he was his dad.
Thought Bear was his dad.
Well, yeah. I mean, Caden was super close to Sean, called him dad, because Caden didn't see his biological dad for till he was 18 months old.
Then when I came home, hey, remember, they gave us that little bear to give to our kids.
It had ACUs on.
That had, he slid a picture of you in it, in the front of it. So it's like a little teddy bear with a picture of you. Well, that was his dad when I got back.
Yes.
I wasn't. Because he was scared of me when I got home.
It was really weird because, another thing, we interrupt each other a lot. We're fine with it. Sometimes it'll get on our nerves here at the house when we do it. And I'll be like, I was speaking. Or he'll be like, can I finish? We are aware that we interrupt each other a lot. And if it bothers you, I apologize. I know it's hard to watch two people who may be cutting each other off a good bit.
If I don't cut you off,
were you just about to cut me off?
Yeah, if I don't cut you off, I won't get to talk.
True story. Also, while this is my channel, what's mine is his, and he is entitled to anything that may be mine. So yes, I do the regular content, posting reality TV news and gossip, but a lot of times the only time we get to spend time together for weeks on end is on these lives. And it's because we both enjoy them. We enjoy doing them together. And if we try to sit down to watch a movie, 9 times out of 10, we're going to fall asleep. Yeah. If we try to sit down to discuss something, we may fall asleep. So this is, we
either argue or fall asleep.
Pretty much. So we actually enjoy doing these. We enjoy doing them together. And it is one of the ways that we spend time together. So I had someone comment, whose channel is this, yours or his? And ours, it is ours. And I enjoy bringing him on. So kind of getting that out of the way. But yeah, what happened with Caden was me and Shine got together when Caden was just a few months old. Caden did not really have a relationship with his biological dad at that point. Paris and Caden share the same dad. Paris had a relationship with him, but Caden didn't. So Caden just thought Sean was his dad, and he was too little for me to, no, that's not your father, So whatever. Right before they left, they gave them some little military stuffed people wearing the ACUs, and in the front, you just slid a picture. Look at that.
Yeah, no, I saw that. It was fun.
I love Lisa. I actually have 2 Lisas. I may actually have more. I have a Lisa Sims and a Lisa Sims. So what's crazy is when Sean left, him and Caden were so close. And that when he got that bear, Caden went to sleep every night with his daddy bear. Literally. Every night he held on to it. But then Sean was gone for 6 whole months. He come home for 2 weeks. Caden was very standoffish, but he still wanted his daddy bear. Sean goes back for 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, for another 6 months. And by that time, he comes home and Caden's like, I know not who you are. This is my dad.
Yeah,
so it took some.
Yeah, when I guess at the airport.
They did not go with me to the airport to pick you up, babe.
Where
it was at the hotel. It was at the hotel.
No.
That's where you saw them again for the first time. Because
it must have been when I came home on leave then. Because I remember him hiding behind your leg, me walking up to y'all, and I tried to pick him up, and he hid behind your leg. In the hotel, I woke him up.
No, that's something different. That's something different where you woke them up. That was at a hotel in Lafayette where you brought Paris a bike and Caden something else. And then we went to the beach on our way back home. That was not. So when you come home from your deployment for your 2-week leave, I picked you up from the hotel, and the kids were brought to the hotel later that evening. The kids were actually not supposed to come back to the hotel until the next day. I had planned on picking them up from the airport, me and him going to get something to eat. It was right around Halloween time.
There was some point, though, that y'all picked me up from the
It was when
airport.
you come home.
Y'all picked me up from the airport.
It was when you come home from your leave. For the
leave.
whole, yeah.
Okay.
And not for leave. It was when you come home from your deployment at the end. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whew. She's my name sister from another Mr. Hunt. If you guys are telling stories about your spouse, I want to read them. If I miss them, I'm sorry.
I've been reading them. I always try to read the comments. I might not say nothing because, she'll be talking about something, but
Rachel, my husband's biggest fear for his deployment is that our Tyler's going
to
recognize him when he comes home.
It definitely sucks when you get home and you're like so happy to see your kid and you're like, come here, and your kid like hides behind his mama's leg and he won't come to you. You're like, dang, that sucks.
Yeah.
Because you like picture it, like when I get home,
there's
like,
gonna
as soon as I see him, like I'm gonna pick him up, throw him up in the air, Which I quit throwing him up in the air pretty early on because one time I came home, I think we're like doing some training in Mississippi, and I came home and I picked him up, and he was like, oh man, he was real young, and I walked in the house, I picked him up in the living room, and like picked him up and I threw him up in the air, like, and as soon as I threw him up in the air, he went straight into the ceiling fan. Hit him 3 times, cut him every time.
I remember that.
Her and her mama were like freaking out, and I was like, "Oh man, I just hurt my step baby." Like,
he had to go.
A good look.
No, it was not.
I threw him straight into the ceiling fan.
We had to go to the ER, and he got the glue on his head. But he had a scar for the longest, and he probably still does, but his hair covers it up. My fiance is not extremely involved in my business, but it is still our business. Right. 100%. Like, Sean knows everything that goes on with me. Like, it's our business, Yeah.
And like we keep our, even like our phones, Facebook, whatever. We never really look at each other's stuff, but it's open.
It's open. He knows my passwords.
Yeah. She can pick my phone up at any time. And she might. I mean, I don't know. She might wait till I'm asleep. Be over there digging all in it.
Who is mom? Elle Bee seems like a ride or die wife. You stuck through many times and being gone. I'm glad y'all are together all the time now. Yeah, what's so crazy? Okay, so when he come home for his 2-week leave, so like I said, I picked him up at the airport. We didn't have the kids at first, but they were brought back that evening. We weren't supposed to get them back till the next morning because haven't seen each other in 6 months, whatever. So, but he was like, no, I want the kids to go ahead and come back, And I was like, okay. So I got them brought to the hotel that we were staying at. And what we did was we ended up going to like the Spirit Halloween store, bought their Halloween costumes, get back to the hotel. Mind you, he's been on like a whole different time zone. So that night we go to bed. I wake up the next morning and Sean's like banging on the door. And I opened the door and he's like, there's no money in our bank account.
Story? Hold on. You gotta go back and tell, like, okay. So being in the military.
That's where I was getting. You go ahead and tell that part.
You see so many people get screwed over, right? There's women that literally will move from military base to military base and marry some young private that just got in the military. And then divorce him and get alimony and like get a car and all kind of stuff. And this is like a common thing. They brief you on this. Like they give yes, they give you briefings.
That's wild.
And they tell you bars to watch out for because there's women there. And I mean, they even tell you like the car lots not to go to. Like you're not allowed to buy a car from certain car lots because they try to screw over young soldiers, right? you know, a lot of young soldiers are real naive. So like after you've been in the military for an extended period of time, or like when I came home from Iraq, I think it like really messed me up, honestly, because I saw so many people get a divorce when we came back, and you know their wife had another man at the house. He done spent all their money. Their kids are calling him daddy, and I'm talking about people that had been married. I mean, one time, one guy was married for 13 years.
That is
Came home to
wild.
nothing. And when we came back, there was literally like first sergeants and E7s like passed out on the side of the road on post because they were kicked out of their house, you know, or their wife took their house on base. Like when a woman divorces you in the military, until they're divorced, her and the kids get the house. You have to go to the barracks. So it doesn't matter how old you are. And like, I mean, there's just so many women that take advantage of soldiers, right? And they marry them, and then they milk them for everything, divorce them, and then they do it to another one and another one, you know, and they do this, and it's a money making scheme, right? And man, when we came back, we had over a 70% divorce rate in our cav troop.
That is so crazy.
And there was people that have been married for years, had kids, and they were completely screwed over, you know, and they came home to nothing. I mean, I think like within the first month of us being back, like 4 soldiers killed their wives, like shot them. Yeah, I mean, it was like crazy. I mean, there was drunks passed out everywhere. They were in the military. People were getting arrested left and right. It was wild, you know.
That is wild. Rachel asked, even if you live off base, like if you live off base, well, I guess if you live off base, no.
No, that's just the they like the house they have like really nice house. Well, not sometimes they're not that nice, but they have like housing on base. It's like a subdivision, you know.
I guess we could have did that, but I don't know.
But
I didn't want to. I don't know. I was so not I don't know. Like I just didn't feel like I was a military wife, but I didn't feel like that was what I was like. I don't know. He would have made a career out of it 9 times out of 10, but I didn't care for that like kind of life. Like I'm very stuck in my roots to where I am. I'm not a traveling type of person. I mean, for a couple days, but not for like a long call. I don't like being away from my family.
Yeah, I mean,
so
yeah, she doesn't like being away from her family, but you know, it is sad, and like the suicide rate for veterans is like through the roof right now. It's terrible. It's like 22 a day. And that's not, I mean, that's serious. Like 22 a day. That's crazy. And I mean, I think that's better than, I know that's better than what it was when we were coming home. I mean, there were people that committed suicide left and right. I didn't know any of the people that killed their wife or committed suicide. Well, I did know some people, some of the guys that I served with did end up committing suicide later on. It wasn't right after we got back, but you know, they come home and they're different, and their wife has, you know, been cheating on them, and they don't have any money, and you know.
Yeah. Oh, that is terrible, okay? But that's definitely not your fault. Like, I hope you don't feel guilty about that, because definitely not your fault.
What is it?
She said, yes, my best friend was killed by her husband after his 3rd deployment, and then he took his own life. I felt guilty because my ex and I introduced them.
Yeah. The ones that I know about on base were like because their wife had like and I'm not justifying it at all, but these guys went, and I mean, I feel bad because these guys went from like back then in 2006, like you just came home. There was no meeting with psychologists, and then,
right.
Like there was no big checklist.
What do they call it now?
I don't even remember what it's called.
You have to, when you come home, you have to do like a few days
like
of like
they have this
deep.
I don't know. I don't remember what it's called.
Deprogram? Not deprogram.
No, it's like
deep, not debrief.
No,
What is it?
I don't remember.
Does anybody remember what it's called?
So, anyways, like their wife was cheating on them and stuff, and they just couldn't take it. You go from no, it's not debrief. It's
the reintegration is not yet.
No, I can't remember. You have a post-deployment checklist. I mean, but there is a word for it. You're right. I can't remember what it was, but I mean, when I came home from Afghanistan, I had to go through it. But it was in 2006, it was a very short checklist. Like you just came home and like they asked you, like they pull you all in a room, like 200 people, and they're like, does anybody feel like killing somebody? Does anybody feel like killing herself? Raise your hand. And if you didn't raise your hand, they're like, okay, you're good. Sign this paper. You're good, And so anyways, long story short, like when I was deployed, I was like, like the whole time she's like, we're doing good. I'm saving all this money because I was making a good bit of money when I was deployed. I didn't have
another
to pay
thing,
taxes.
you were stop loss too.
Yeah, I got stop loss. So I was actually supposed to get out in a couple months, but
can I interrupt you really quick?
Yeah.
So he left for his deployment in March of 2009, and his contract with the military was up September 2009. And what I would have hoped is they would have just sent him home. But no, they extended his contract with the military until his 1 year was over. But because that happened, he got paid more.
Yeah.
So I was able to pay the bills.
I got a bunch of extra pay for like being in a combat zone. We didn't have to pay taxes.
Right.
I got stop loss pay. So like we were doing all right,
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I'm saving all this money, Well, then I come home on leave. And I've literally I just flew in, and I've been in a combat zone in Afghanistan, where people are trying to kill me, and so like.
And men are finding out that their wives are cheating on them.
Yeah. And like they're getting took for everything while they're over there, and they can't do anything about it, right? Because there's no lawyer over there. You're not meeting with a lawyer. There's not like some combat lawyer that comes down to the biggest shithole on the face of the planet and does paperwork for you. I mean, that's not how it works. So anyways, like I go to Walmart. Long story short, I wake up early. I'm like, I'm going to go get breakfast for the kids, like go check out Walmart. I ain't been to Walmart in a while, and I'm gonna go get some toys. So then I go to Walmart and I got like a whole buggy, and I go to swipe my card and it's declined, and I'm like, no man, that ain't right. Like swipe it, like let's try again, right? So we swipe it again, right? Declined again, and I'm like, oh, hell no.
So he called the bank.
Yeah, I called the bank, and we're like, our
negative
account is like negative $2,000 and something dollars. It is like wiped clean, right? And I'm like, I'm supposed to go to San Antonio. I'm home for 15 days. We have no money. I'm supposed to go to San Antonio to see my parents. I'm only home for 15 days. We don't have any gas in the car. Like
we hadn't paid for our hotel.
We hadn't paid for our hotel. Nothing. But all I'm thinking is like,
this.
Yeah, she got me like. So
while I'm in the hotel asleep.
I go to the hotel and I'm like, well, I'm thinking like she didn't spend all our money while I was gone. Like,
and I'm telling him that I'm saving money. You know,
because I can't check the bank account. Like I can't see nothing. So I go back to the hotel and I'm like, boom, 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 beating on the door, right? And she like wakes up and like comes to the door, and I mean, it's embarrassing now to say, but I'm like, where the F is our money, you know? And like, you know, I was just in another mind state still, you know? And she's like, no, I swear I didn't.
I'm like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
like,
well,
what do you
like,
mean? Where's our money?
Yeah, at first she was like that. And I'm like, all the money's gone. And she's like, I'm going to call the bank. And she calls the bank and it says like -2. And I'm like, where's all the money, net? You know, like, I'm like freaking out, you know? And she's like, I swear I didn't do nothing. I swear we had like, $7,000-8,000.
It was like close to 10,000 in the bank right then.
And so like I kind of calmed down and we call the bank and they start naming off like tons of transactions that I know she didn't do.
It was Balfour. Most of them was to Balfour. Balfour, the graduation ring company. That's who these charges were going to.
Phone cards, all kind of stuff, right? So this is a good story. I haven't told this in a long time. So like the bank's like, I'm like, this ain't us. Like we need our money back. Like,
and we had a protection plan on there.
Yeah. So
that any like weird charges or like high charges,
they should call.
Needed to be like cleared through us.
Yeah. So,
they're basically like, you guys got to come in and sign some paperwork, and we're going to do an investigation, and it could take up to 2 weeks for it to be done, and then you'll probably get your money back. But our bank was in Georgia.
Yeah, because that's where I was deploying from. Like,
well, that's where he lived.
Yeah, that's where I lived
before we got married.
And that's where I was. That's where I was stationed. That's where I was lived. I still had a bank in Georgia, but it was so. They're like, it's going to take 2 to 3 weeks, and I'm like, no, it's not. I'm like, no, the hell, it's not.
But they were like, y'all need to come in. And we're like, we don't even have gas to get home. We're an hour away from our home. We can't pay for our hotel. We don't have gas to get home. And you expect us to make a 14-hour trip to a bank with no money?
And I ended up freaking out on them. I'm like,
scared me.
I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I'm home for 15 days. I'm going to see my parents. And like, we had X amount of money in there. I said, if I don't get my money within the next 2 or 3 days, I'm driving to Georgia. I said, I'm borrowing some money. I'm driving to Georgia and I'm robbing one of your banks for every penny that was in my account. And like,
when he said that, you guys, I said, hang up now. And I was like, you're gonna get us thrown in jail. We're gonna go to jail.
I was dead serious. So like, I was dead serious. Like, I was fixing to go get my guns, get a vest, and I was going to the bank. Like, I was not about to have my 15 days of leave messed up and be broke as heck, Well, I'm home for 15 days, about to go to Afghanistan, and I don't even know if I'm going to come back after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I might die. I still got 6 more months in Afghanistan. So I don't know what's going to happen. So, like, my last 15 days possibly in the United States is not about to be wasted because somebody stole my money and the bank didn't shut it down, right? So she did what she always does. Like, she gets on the phone, and I don't know how she does it, but you let her get on the phone with AT&T or a bank or something, like she's going to get the manager, then the freaking CEO on the phone. I mean, like, they're going to work with her. They don't work with me, never. Like, she gets a little attitude with them and stuff, and they're like, and she's like, let me speak to a manager, and she'll get stuff done. But they never, they're like, sir, I'm going to hang up on you. When I get attitude, they're like, sir, I don't have to put up with that. I'm like, but anyways, so she gets on the phone and she talks to like 10 different people. They keep putting her like on with somebody else, like somebody higher, and then they finally said, okay, we're going to get you your money in 2 or 3 days. Right. So then we just had to call my parents, tell them what happened, get a little bit of money, to pay for the hotel, get home. And last, some money to last for a couple days, but they ended up giving us our money back. But that's not the end of the story. Like she always wanted to be a private detective because she's the nosiest person on earth. That's why she keeps up with all this stuff and why she has a YouTube channel talking about it, because she's nosy. Her mama is nosy. She's nosy.
You better heard my mom not see this stream. My grandmother is nosy.
Yeah, my daughter is nosy. Like both daughters are like extremely nosy. Like if they hear anything going on, they're like listening, you know, and like trying to pick up on it. So,
like if I could go sit in a courthouse and listen to court cases all day long, I would do it.
Yeah,
I love it. Like if I'm at my sister's house and she's like doing her checkbook, I'm like, let me look. But when this happened, then I was like, who did this? Who robbed us? So then I'm like, I need to figure out who this is, right?
and she did.
I found out who it was. I found their real name, their address, their phone number.
These were like professional. I gotta say this. These were like professional people that did this, right? Like they did it all the time. They were scamming people all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They scammed multiple people. And she got on there.
I got their email address. This is so crazy. But okay. So what happened was the bank told us where the charges went through at, right? So I called the company, told them what happened. I gave this was years ago, so I don't remember exactly how everything went. I
remember you called several companies, but the one that you got in touch with was a phone card company. It was for a phone card. They had bought a phone card for it. And you told them what happened, and they ended up telling you, well, I can tell you the password that they used, and they might have used that password
for their email. Yes.
So they gave her. Go ahead.
There's some stuff you're missing. So the bank gave me. This is the companies, they purchase things from. And some of it was like, transaction was for phone cards. And there was a number attached to it. Balfour had a number attached to it. So I called all these places that I was able to get a number to. And I talked to them. I told them what was going on. And two of the companies gave me a name that was on the order. That was on the order.
Yeah.
And I remember the first name was like Robert, I think. It was like R, like Robert or something. So they gave me the name that the order was placed under. Now, even though it was our card that was used, it was shipped
to
what's
Chicago.
What's so crazy, keeping up with KP, is I check my bank account sometimes multiple times a day.
They did this
in the middle of the night, as we were sleeping that. And obviously I wasn't checking the bank account right when I picked Sean up and the rest of that evening. So I was with, him, focusing on him. He just come home and they just did it like that.
I mean, within 24 hours,
yes.
They completely
But my
wiped out.
boss, Dan, at the finance company, he used to joke around with me all the time because I was constantly balancing my checkbook and checking my bank account. So I do it a lot. So it just so happened that I was so preoccupied with him that I wasn't checking it that much. I maybe went 10 hours without checking it, and they got me, But anyway, so I talked to the bank. They was gracious enough, to give me all the information. They gave me phone numbers. I called every number that I was given to where an order was placed. And some of these companies was like, okay, I had to give them my bank account. This happened years ago, Candy.
This is 2009.
Yes, 2009. So I gave them the bank account. I said, okay, this is the bank account number that was used to make these purchases. This was the name on the bank account. This was the amount. This was when it happened. And they're like, okay, pulled it up. Yes, your bank account was used to make this purchase. Here is the delivery. I have a delivery address for where the merchandise is supposed to ship to. And it's Robert so-and-so, and here's the address. There is also a phone number and an email with this purchase. Do you want that information? And I was like, yes, I do. So they gave me the name, the address, where it was going to be shipped to, the phone number that was used for this purchase, and the email that was used for this purchase. So I called the next company, and it was the same thing. They didn't give me all the information, but I remember one of the things was an email. And I said something about I would love to be able to get in this fool's email to see who else he done this to. And she said, well, when he made the purchase or something, you have to give a password or something for like the I think it was a phone card. You have to get like there was some thing where you had to give a password.
It was a phone card.
And she said, you know, a lot of people use the same password for everything. So this is the email that he used. And here's the password that he used with us. So maybe try that. And I said, well, that's a good idea. So I got off the phone with her. I put in that email and then I put in that password, bang, right into his email. And there was a like ding, ding, ding. Like he literally had been hitting up so many people over like weeks. It gave me their banking information with their real name. And then what he ordered, his address, his phone number, his real name. So then I called the number that I was given for him.
Hold on, no.
I changed the. I changed the password.
You changed the password first on his email accounts. It was more than just one email. You might have only got in one email.
I got in one email and I changed the password to it.
Yeah, so she changed the password to this.
So he couldn't get into
fool's email, right?
And then I changed the password, and then I called the number that was on all these orders, right? And a woman answered. And I said, hey, I'm calling for so-and-so. And she goes, yeah, hold on just a second. This man gets on the phone. Hello. I said, hey, my name is so-and-so. I'm with Balfour. And I was calling to confirm your order that you placed with us on such and such date for, the amount of blah, 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 blah. Can you confirm the last 4 digits of the bank account that you used? I asked him to confirm a few things, and he's like, oh yeah, bank account and Sean and Leslie, I just doxed this, whatever, and Elle Bee and Sean Bass's name, and he rattled off our bank account information like that. And I was like, well, I just want to let you know, you are speaking to Elle Bee, and I've busted your ass, and I'm turning you over to the feds, and I got into your email, and I say that you've been doing this to everybody, and I'm turning your ass in.
And then she called the FBI and turned it in. Gave him the email, gave him the freaking.
Gave him I don't know if everything ever happened with it.
I'm sure.
I don't know, but he had literally
pretty big.
Like he had literally done this to so many. Oh, and then what I did was in the email, I contacted several people that I saw that he had done this to, because it had their information in it. He was getting receipts for these orders that he placed. So, yeah.
I haven't told that story in a long time, but that used to be one of my favorite stories, like to tell people at work or something, like when we're just sitting around, like talking or whatever. Like
he didn't say nothing. I don't remember a response.
I was so proud of her. I was like, damn, she done like busted this dude, She did. I mean, like she got down to it and then called the FBI, gave them everything, gave him the dude's phone number, gave him his email, told him I changed his password. I got in his email, I changed his password. Here's the password. I mean, it was like that dude was busted, like no doubt about it.
Yeah. And some of those people had no idea. Like some of the people that I contacted, they had already knew, but I was able to give them the information. Like, well, this is who it is. This is his address, and this is his phone number if you guys want to talk to him. But I've turned it over to the FBI. Some of the people, I talked to like 2 people who had no idea. They were like, what? And I'm like, you may need to check your bank account. So it was, I dig a lot and I can find things, but that was strictly by chance that I was able to get in his email and find out all those other things. So that was just good luck for me, but I don't think he said anything. He confirmed the name on the bank account that he used and our bank account information. And then when I said, this is who I am, and you just stole and I remember telling him, you stole my money from me and my husband. We have a family. He's been gone for 6 months on a deployment. He come home for 2 weeks, and now we're dealing with you stealing all of our money while this man has been, off on a deployment. Like, you are a piece of crap. And I got all your information, and I know who else you've been doing this to, and I'm contacting them, and I'm turning it over to the FBI.
Like, to hear her say it now is like, she's kind of like trying to remember it, like what she was saying. But like when she was on the phone, I remember she went off and she didn't skip a beat. Like she went off, and I was like, "Damn, this is," But
we got our money back before we left the hotel within 30 minutes of Sean. Like, Sean flipped out on them. I got on the phone with them and
we
was
didn't
able
get
to.
it back.
Yeah, we did.
No,
we got it back before we left the hotel.
We had to go back to the apartment, and we sat there. I had to borrow money from my parents.
Or maybe we didn't get it back, but I know they assured us.
Yeah,
before,
no, they told us before
we left
that we would get it in 2 to 3 days.
That's right.
The manager said it would take 2 to 3 days.
Yeah, so before we left the hotel, they did tell us that we would get it back.
Yeah, I called my parents. We borrowed money, and then we had to go back to the apartment rather than go to San Antonio right off the bat.
Yeah, I think he hung up on me.
But anyways, so that was like my 15 days of leave from Afghanistan. Like that's what I came home to. And really I think it was so like when I was in Romania on my way home, I used my debit card there, and I think maybe when I used my debit card there, maybe they got
it was a bank account something. It was from our bank because they had our routing and bank account information. But also when you were there, you bought something online right before you left. There was something that you like socks or something.
No, it was like I bought a little small Camelback.
That's what it was,
for my vest. That's right. So, anyways, that was pretty cool. I mean, I've told that story a bunch, but it's been a long time since I
Rachel, just DM me, and yeah, you can tell me how many kids you have, and I can give you any advice that I have. Life at our house is crazy. I don't know if I have the best advice, but I'm used to a bunch of kids, that's for sure. It was unexpected stress. We were not. I'm getting off here. Bye, Elle. Bye, Sean. It was good listening to y'all. Bye, Hannah.
Bye, Hannah.
Hopefully I stopped him from doing that. I don't know, but I did turn it over to the FBI. What's crazy is it happened to us again, like 2 more times. Never to that extent, never where they took like $10,000 from us, but one time it was like $1,600.
It wasn't like they took like 12 because they took all of our money
plus put us in the negative.
Like $2,000. I don't even know how they did got us in the negative that far because we had like $10,000.
It should only been like
$700.
Well, you're charged a $35 NSF fee every time, or at the time I think it was $25 NSF fee every time you purchase something after you're in.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been like
I don't know.
It should have been like $2,800 or whatever, right? That's crazy. At the time, I remember thinking like, how in the heck did we get that far? I got it.
Dakota's doing good though. He went back to school today. He was released to go back today, and he's doing good. His class missed him. His teacher missed him. He has such a wonderful teacher, you guys. Like, I love his teacher. I've had stations, but never to that extent. I couldn't imagine. Yeah, I mean, it was wild when that happened. And after Sean come back from his deployment for good, there was this one guy that I had met that was in his unit that when he come back, his wife had actually been cheating on him with one of the other guys in the unit. And he come home and found that out. And then I kind of understood a little bit more of like, oh, okay. Like I get it. This happens. So I get it why you were like, when there was no money and you call the bank and it's in the negative, why your immediate reaction was like, oh my God, this woman just took all my money. And another thing is like me and Sean had only been married for 3 months when he left. Only been married for 3 months when he left. And before that, we'd only been dating for like 8 months. I think it was something like that. So we met, which I've known Sean 4 years, knew of him since I was like 12. But when we met and we started dating, it went pretty quickly. We fell in love pretty quickly, and we got married pretty quickly. But still, we didn't know each other that great, because he still worked before his deployment. He worked offshore. When me and him met, started talking, we worked offshore. He worked offshore, and we moved in with each other. He was working offshore. I was working a corporate job. I was the finance of the manager of a finance company. So we really didn't know each other, So yeah. Didn't Flossie have a crush on him at first? Yes. Yeah, she did. We got an email basically saying something needs updating your account. Hubby just sent a wire prior to that, so we thought nothing of it. Click link to log new account from that email. Yeah, don't click on links. Like, I keep getting this email from like Newton 360, like the is it called Newton 360, the computer like software, the Norton 360. When I was at Shriners with Paris, I got this email from Norton 360 saying we've automatically updated your Norton, and you will see a deposit or a debit coming out of your account for like $250, and it's like an annual something. And I was like, what? And it was like, if you do not want this, please click the link below. If you wish to cancel, please click the link below. And I was like, we don't even have that. So how would it renew automatically? So I called Sean and I was like, something's weird with this. And I'm like, it's got a link. I don't know what I should do. And then I looked it up. 9 times out of 10, if you're unsure of something, if you get this weird text, weird email, and you're not sure if it's a scam, go to Google and Google what happened. Like, email that says XYZ. And 9 times out of 10, it's all over. It was all over, Google when I looked it up. And I was like,
anything that has to do with money, like in an email or even phone calls, like, you should assume that it is a scam, because there's some really like conniving scams out there that are easy to fall for. There's some that are stupid that nobody should fall for, but then there's other ones that they will get you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we got married like kind of quickly, and I think we honestly could have benefited from dating a lot longer. But the thing was, like, me and her started dating before I deployed to Afghanistan, and I found out I was going to deploy, and I was like, so I started talking to her about getting married because I loved her, and she had 2 kids. And like, when I got with her, she was like a single mom, like working and struggling, So I was like, man, if I get killed, I got a lot of life insurance. Like, if we get married, I can make her the beneficiary. But I think I broke it up to where my mama was going to get half and you would get the other half, to where you would be taken care of. Yeah. But I had like $1 million policy at the time. No, I had. It was like 2 policies. Yeah, I had 2 policies. Like, one through my job, because I was in the National Guard when I went to Afghanistan, right? So the job that I was working offshore, I had a life insurance policy that was going to keep going for some reason. I guess Noble kept it going. I don't remember, but I know that I had 2 policies for a long time, and I was worth like $1 million dead. It was like 950,000, So I broke it up to where I think my mama was going to get like maybe 250 or something, and she was going to get the rest, to where I wanted her to be taken care of if I got killed, So that's one of the reasons why we got married so quickly. I was deploying, and it was just like, I didn't want her to have any problems like getting the money and being taken care of, if I was to get killed. So, but I think we could have benefited from dating a while longer and like working some things out and talking about some things, because we kind of got slammed into it, and it was easy at first, but then
we were like the honeymoon phase.
But then like later on, like, we never really had a problem with like each other, but just like,
we have a lot of different, not beliefs, because we're Christian. We have the same beliefs as far as God and things like that. But he was raised so different than I was.
Yeah, we
I
were
was
raised way different.
And what I did not realize is that due to my upbringing, I have a lot of issues within myself that I did. Sean started pointing them out to me. He's like, "Hey, I think maybe you're this way because of this," and I'm like, "That makes so much sense."
Yeah,
it
but
makes so much sense.
yeah, but I have a lot of issues too, like from the military and like some things in my childhood, like so we both kind of came into it with a lot of issues, and like one of my issues was at first when we first got married. I think probably my biggest issue, the biggest problem there was honestly I didn't think I had any issues. I thought she had all the issues. It took me a long time to kind of realize that
It's both of us.
yeah, I had some issues too, and like the way I went about things. See, women are a lot different, and I came from like a pretty hard childhood. Like I was raised pretty hard. Like
Rough around the edges.
yeah, we were like real poor when I was young, and my parents didn't tolerate like you got your butt tore up for stuff, and like there was no BS. Like it was respect. And I love my parents. I love my parents to death, and I don't think they did anything wrong. I think my parents raised me, and I'm glad my parents raised me the way they did, because to me it put a lot of principles and morals in me, and like made me value family and marriage, a lot. So my parents were great parents, but it was very strict, or not so much strict. Yeah, it was pretty strict, but it was just like, it was a hardcore, right? I was brought up pretty hardcore. Like there was no gray area. Like you were either being respectful or you were being disrespectful. Yeah. Like, and all you were allowed to say was like, yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, and if you messed up, you should just accept responsibility for it, right? So, I was brought up that way, and then I went to the military, and of course, there was all the yelling and all the respect and stuff that goes in with the military, and I had a lot of people that were really hard on me when I worked offshore, but these people. I was telling my kids this the other day, like the people that were the hardest on me in my life ended up being the people that I was the closest to. Like my platoon sergeant was extremely hard on me in Iraq after he got to know me. He literally didn't even talk to me for 6 months when I first came to the unit, right? So he was extremely hard on me, but me and him become close. Like he was like a second father to me. Like one of the men that I worked offshore with, I worked for him my entire offshore career. It did not matter if the rigs got stacked. Like somehow he always brought me underneath his wing. Like he got me back underneath on his rig, working for him on his crew, and it was extremely hard. Cuss you up and down, yank you around if you made a mistake. He would jack you up. But me and at first I thought he was the biggest asshole I ever come across on the face of the earth. And me and that man become extremely close. He's another man that was like another father to me, right? Mm-hmm. So like that is all I ever dealt with, was when you mess up, you get your butt chewed out, you say yes, sir, and you say, hey, I'm going to try not to do it again. And that's how, and it motivates you to do better, right? Well, women don't work that way. And I didn't get that for a long time. Like, I had girlfriends and stuff, but, I didn't care about them really. Like,
whatever.
Yeah, it was like, whatever.
You're nothing. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really care about working out issues with them or anything, right? We didn't really have issues because I didn't care, But when me and her got married, it took me a long time to figure out that women do not react the way I think alpha males do. Because even like some beta males they'll cry if you like get onto them, or like kind of whine or get their feelings hurt. But I was always like,
me and other men in the military, when somebody's cussing you out and chewing you up and down, like you're like, it motivates you to do better, right? It pushes you to be more. And that's how the military set up. That's how my house was set up. That's how it was offshore. So then I had to come home to her.
But that's not how I run things up in here.
I had to come home to her. And I'm like, you know, she would do something and I'd be like, what the hell are you doing? You know, like, and that didn't never fly.
And I'd be like, excuse you?
Yeah, that
Who do you think you're talking to here?
Yeah, it took me a long time to figure out if the nicer I was to her and like, if you know what I figured out.
You get more with sugar than you do with vinegar. What's that saying? I feel like that's so true in life in so many aspects.
I feel like it's true. I feel like it's true in different parts of life. Like,
yeah, I definitely think
you go offshore and you have these tool pushers that are like really nice, right? And everybody just screws them over. You know, they don't work hard. Every chance they get, they're drinking coffee. You know, they have no respect for the man, right? And he tries to be nice to everybody, tries to be friendly to everybody, and that's always made me, you know, want to work hard for him, because I didn't want, you know, I felt bad that other people always like took advantage of their kindness, right? Mm-hmm. But then you get a tool pusher that's hardcore, you know, which there's a lot of them out there. There's more out there that are hardcore than there is that, you know, are chill. But people are working because they know they get caught messing, you know, sitting around drinking coffee, like they finna be in trouble, you know, and he ain't gonna take it. So, and in the military, same thing. You know, you would have an NCO that, and every once in a while you'd have this one NCO that had a good balance, right? He would chew you out and make you feel like crap, but he was also like really nice. And so you never, and a lot of times those people got a lot of respect. You know, you knew they could take it. They could go from, you know, they could go from 0 to 100 miles
real quick.
Yeah, like ASAP if they had to, but they didn't do it unless they absolutely had to, right?
Hey, Melissa.
Like Sergeant Holler was that way. The one that NCO that I told you about that I really liked, and he got killed in Iraq in 2005. He was that way, man. Everybody respected this guy, and he was just the nicest guy. He had a like most contagious smile. You know, his laugh was like, man, when he was laughing, he always had the best attitude, you know. And he was a good dude, man. I looked up to him a lot, had a lot of respect for him. And he but at the same time, if you messed up, you know, he'd take you out back and he would he would jack you up. And I mean, you'd be back there doing push-ups, sit-ups, listen to him chew your butt out, you know, tell you
how sorry you are.
Yeah, how bad you messed up, you know. Be back there throwing up, but before it's done, you know, like he was gonna make you throw up if you messed up and you pushed him so far, you know, you're gonna be back there doing push-ups, sit-ups, jumping jacks till you throw up, you know. But he rarely had to take it there, you know, because so many people had respect for him. So
we've had a few questions, but I've been trying not to interrupt Sean. But I've been trying to write them down. If you guys have asked a question and I've missed it, feel free to ask it again. And then I'm going to show you guys some pictures from Sean's deployment and right before his deployment and during his deployment.
But anyway, what I was saying is I just figured that, like, I found out, it took me a long time to figure this out. And she put up with a lot of BS, like, from me. If I pointed out the things that she did right and like praised her, she fixed the things that pissed me off, you know, like 90% of the time.
I wanted to do better and make him like, I knew the things that I did that frustrated him because he griped about them, you know, but I like almost resented him for the way that he come at me about it, because I'm like, why not just like come to me nicely and say, this is my issue here. and then let me work on that. I may not fix it right then, but I'll work on fixing that, But it was like he was grouchy about it, So I that frustrated me, and it made me not change things for the longest. But then when he started like praising me for other things and telling me, how good of a wife I am and how good of a mom I am and blah, blah, blah. Then I was like, I want to fix these things that bother him.
Yeah. Yeah. See, she said, I thrive on positive. My hubby thrives on being pushed. Like, that's how I am. I thrive on being pushed. Like, wow, I'm having to come home. And it was so hard to like just turn off work, right? Come home and deal with her, but then go to work and have to be completely different and deal with people that are completely different, right? Because every job I had was like, it wasn't a normal job. I was be gone for 21 days at a time, or I was in the military and I deployed for a long time and came home, So it was always really hard to come home and just turn it off, even from offshore. Like, I go to work, and if I messed up, it's like, hey, you dumbass, what the hell are you doing, And then, like, my hands, the guys that were working for me, if they messed up, I'm like, you freaking idiot, what are you doing? Like, you're going to get somebody killed. Like, don't do that shit again, And then I come home, and she, like, does something, and I'm like, you freaking, wait, hold up. And she's like, not going to put up with it,
There were times where I would have to be like, snap him out of it and be like, I'm not one of the fools that you work with. You know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't talking to some man out on an oil rig. Like, I'm going to need you to rein it in, or I can kick you out. Thank you, Vincent. I appreciate that. So there's been a few questions. Oh, are you okay? Go get her. She fell off the bed. Fell off the couch.
Are you all right?
Our puppy just literally, she's asleep, and she fell off the couch.
You must have been sleeping good, huh?
Maybe you're waking Kenny up. That's kind of the way I am too, Tamara. Like, I'm not as sensitive as I used to be, but I used to be really sensitive. But I would shut down. Like, when Sean would get mad at me, I would just shut down. That's it. And then I think it bothered him that I wouldn't kind of.
Oh, that was the worst thing.
Like, argue back with him.
That was the worst thing. When she quit talking, like, we would be kind of like arguing or having a heated discussion, whatever you want to call it. And she would quit talking. And, oh, man, that always pissed me off so much. There's nobody in this world that can piss me off like her, like she can, or like bother me. Like, if me and her ain't getting along,
same.
My entire world is disrupted, turned upside down, terrible. I don't want to do nothing. Like, I don't want to do nothing.
Our puppy is doing so much better, thankfully.
I'm just mad.
She was super sore yesterday.
No,
not at all.
No, one of our kids has Asperger's.
Yeah, we have a child with Asperger's.
I think my husband
is super sweet. Okay, so the few questions that I've caught is any favorite machine guns when you were deployed?
I don't know. I don't know.
He has some guns that.
I don't have any machine guns. I mean,
no, but he has some really nice
Who
guns.
has that?
This was a while back.
I always liked 240, but 240 Bravo, but it was heavy. I like 50 cal, but I don't know. They're all heavy, so I didn't ever want to carry one. I walked a lot. If it stayed on the truck, I didn't mind shooting it.
Hey, what do you have now? You have several.
M1A, and then a
M14.
Yeah, it's an M14, an M1A. It's a Springfield M1A that I made turn into an EBR, which is it doesn't matter. It's just a mid-range sniper rifle, kind of assault rifle type deal. And then I have a Tavor, which is a bullpup assault rifle.
It's actually mine.
Yeah, it actually, I got it. I wouldn't say it's hers, but I bought it for her just in case, things ever get bad. It would be a good gun for her to use.
So another question was, Sean, do you think there's a rush to marry for men in the military? Like maybe for
Sometimes.
Because they want like higher pay. So they're like, oh, let me get married. Then I can get housing and then I can get more pay.
I do think that there's kind of a rush. I think that.
I mean, you were rushed with me.
Sometimes it depends on the situation, but I think that.
But it was out of love. It wasn't like.
I think there's these, for like what I experienced, there's these women, because I was in an all male unit, so I can't talk about men that did this. I'm sure there are men that do this, right? But I was in an all male unit, so I just saw women doing it to people left and right, doing it to soldiers. I think when, some of these soldiers are 19 years old, they meet some, 30-year-old woman that looks good, might have one or two kids, and like she is perfect for them, right? Because she's got an end goal, she's got a game. It's a game she's playing, right? So all of a sudden they meet this woman, 30 years old, looks great, and she might have a couple kids, and she is perfect because, she's like the perfect woman for him, right? Everything that he likes, she likes. And he's like, man, where's this woman been all my life? And then he marries her quick, because I don't know, things are just hitting off great. She's the most awesome woman he's ever met. And then, 6 months or a year later, he finds out that, she's been talking to somebody else the whole time, taking all his money. And that's what goes on a lot. So I think a lot of young people in the military, I'm not going to say men, because it probably happens with women in the military too. I don't know. It's hard to say that. But, I think that there's people that play them, and so they get married quickly.
Wildflower, I saw that you asked how long have we been married. Almost 13 years next month. How long were you overseas for? So Iraq, you were overseas for
like 13 months.
And Afghanistan, he was overseas for 12 months. The longest time deployed was at Iraq. Are you guys from the South? Yes, we are from Louisiana. And how long have y'all been married? Almost 13 years.
Did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself?
No, he was killed. How long did it take you to get used to being separated from the military? It took me years personally.
Well, when I got with her, I was working offshore, and I was working 14 and 14. So I left every 14 days, and I stayed gone 14 days. And so we were used to being apart from each other, but just not that long, right? And then
I thought the question was something else.
I don't know. Maybe I
you to
misunderstood.
get used to being separated
From the military? Oh, I don't know. It's a good question. When I figure it out, I'll let you know.
Sarah Q, I saw that you said that you actually got married to a good friend of yours, and y'all were married for the full 4 years that he was in the service. And y'all had like a wedding and then a divorce party with friends. That's pretty funny. Yep, it was. He met his wife at that party. They are still married. That's pretty funny. Are y'all going to do something big when you hit the big 20-year anniversary just around the corner?
I hope to get her. You know what? I hope to get her a really good ring.
We actually never had a real wedding.
We said we were going to do it at 10 years.
We did say we were going to do it at 10 years. But
I think I got laid off in 10 years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so hopefully if my YouTube channel takes off and I'm making 20 G's a month like some of these creators out there, that would be nice to save some of that, you know.
Nice wedding.
A nice wedding and a nice honeymoon. We never had a real wedding and we didn't have a honeymoon really. Our honeymoon was I gotta lose weight.
No, I said I'll have to lose weight.
I
don't know. Depending on how long you might need to. You might not 20 when we've been married for 20 years.
We got a little over 7 years later. You don't know.
Might be
We just hit 11 years. That's awesome, Wildflower. Let's look at the pictures and you can tell them what exactly is going on the pictures. There's my hubby right here. You guys see him with them crazy looking sunglasses on. This is what y'all's interpreter.
No, that was Sergeant O. That was our medic.
Oh.
Yeah, that was our medic. He's an American.
If your wife is single, please send her to me. If your wife is single.
Right,
okay, Vincent. And you guys see right here, they're actually cooking. Yeah,
so we just we're like really high up in the mountains at the time in Afghanistan. So all we had was like MREs and stuff, and we built a little fire pit and heated our MREs up, kind of cooked them on some flat rocks. So yeah, we were really we've been out for days, you know, ain't had showers and stuff like that. So we're just tired of eating cold MREs. I do miss deployments. If I could go back to Iraq, man, and the way it was in 2005, I don't know why, because it was hell. But I guess I like abuse or something. I don't know. You know,
Sean loved the military.
Yeah. I loved Iraq. Afghanistan was a lot different. It was really political. They had our hands tied a lot. It was kind of a different deployment. But Iraq in 2005 was I don't know. For one thing, I feel like, you know, that was my first deployment and it probably screwed me up. So ever since I came back, you know, I kind of feel like I lost. I don't know.
Someone said, do you still have dreams like you were still deployed?
Man,
you've said a couple times that you have. You went a long time where you didn't.
I don't have, not anymore.
No, just the other day you said that didn't you say the other day that you had a dream about it?
Yeah, but I don't really anymore like I used to.
He went like a long time.
I did have a dream the other day, but I went from having dreams like all the time to I didn't have any, and then I had another one here recently. But I used to dream that like situations that happened would happen again in my dream, but it would be like one of my kids. It would happen to one of my kids, and I would wake up like crying or something, you know, or like, I don't know, weird dreams, you know. It was always like, or like something, you dream about things that happened a lot, you know.
So
anyways,
this is a picture of me and Sean. I don't remember what we were doing.
I think we're getting ready to leave, or were we coming home?
No, because you left, and
yeah, that's 2009. So we're getting ready to leave, and we're having like a family get together, and we're getting ready to leave, and they promoted somebody, and we went to throw him in the lake, right? Right after they promoted him, we all jumped on him and went to throw him in the lake, but half of us went in the lake with him. You know,
yeah,
it took us
that's terrible, KP. But this was a fun time. I had Paris and Caden there. This is me. I do not like the way that I look here. I have black hair.
These are some of my favorite pictures.
I had black hair at that time. This is Sean. This is the picture that we just looked at. I really like this picture of Sean because I feel like it could be on a billboard, and underneath it, it could say, "Uncle Sam wants you." It could be like an army recruit photo or billboard. Or
I think I
something.
was in the middle of telling him to put that damn camera up. I swear to God, I think I was like, "Hey, put that damn camera up," and he just caught a good picture.
Yeah.
I was kind of like smiling, but I think he was supposed to be pulling security. We're on top of this mountain, like out in the middle of Afghanistan, and he's got a camera out, and I'm like, "Hey, put that damn camera up and start paying attention," And he just caught me at the right moment, because it was one of my guys that took that picture actually. And they were sitting in their little position on the mountain. We had taken the mountaintop and we had been up there like holding the high ground for a day or something because some bullshit was going on. So we're like holding the high ground and we've been shot at a couple times from the other mountains. Because what you can't see in this picture is all around us are like mountains, right? You just see like huge mountains that like go up in the clouds. So people can be on those other mountains and you don't see them and they'll shoot at you, but.
So you're like, put the daggum camera up.
I think he just caught me like when I was like half laughing at him because he had a camera and like telling him to put it up. But
I like this photo. This is one of my favorite pictures of the hubby.
Yeah, all that back is like the mountains that I was talking about. We used to have to walk through those mountains and look for caves, and we would walk through them for days, and they were terrible, terrible.
What's the longest we went without communicating?
Weeks, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was like a big thing. There was like this big situation. Oh, Bergdahl. When Bo Bergdahl went missing.
When that piece of went missing.
We
couldn't call home. We couldn't call home. They were on a full communication blackout for like 2 weeks or something. It sucked. But
I got some more pictures. Okay.
That was during the Afghan. Wait, you can't say it. That was during the Afghan elections. So like, I had no sleep. We slept up against that wall for a couple hours, like at a time. And we're on like different patrols. Like, so you'd come in and get like an hour and a half of sleep and then go out for like 8 hours and then come in and get like an hour and a half of sleep. And it was literally up against just a stone wall where we slept. And I don't think we talked a lot during the Afghan elections either.
Nope, we didn't.
Yeah.
You actually told me at one point, you were very specific. You were like, I'm not going to be able to call home for a bit and do not watch the news. There's the hubby. Oh, that's a picture that was, I really like this picture. Oh, wait, that's not it. But look, when me and Sean first started talking, this picture was on his Facebook. All right, baby, fix your hair. Your hair's sticking right out of your thing. Here, let me fix it. Nope. Whenever this picture was on his MySpace, right? And we had went out on our first date or whatever, and I commented and I was like, you look really cute standing in that what did I call it? Tank. I'm like, oh, you look so cute standing in that tank. And he's like, tell me why. Hold on, let me get where I can see y'all. He's like, that's a Humvee. And I'm like, well, make me feel stupid. Why don't you? Why I'm trying to give you a compliment. I'm like, I don't know what it.
I think I was a pretty big asshole back then.
He kind of was.
I've always been kind of an asshole. But
yeah, like his friends used to call him asshole.
Yeah, bast ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was called all the time.
How hard was it not to watch the news? Well, okay, it was tough. And people around me watched the news, and people would ask me questions. Like, and there was a situation that happened with the election. Something happened. Like, y'all were pulling security for like these. A
lot of shit happened during the election. I mean, there was
an assassination attempt on.
Yeah, well, we were trying to hold a democracy, a democratic election in a country that is war torn, full of tribes. And, there's the Taliban out there, and then there's Al Qaeda, and they don't want democracy there, so they're trying to blow up every election poll site. But most of the people wanted democracy there,
Yeah.
they want to vote. They want to be represented by people they vote for, you know, but you had other people in the country that would blow up the polls, right, with people there to discourage people from voting.
Yeah.
Or like they tried to assassinate one of the
So wasn't there like an attempt?
yeah, I mean, there was a bunch of stuff that went on like that. I don't
And
remember
when that
exactly what you're
happened,
talking about.
so he told me like before the election, I think it was like, hey, don't be watching the news, because he knew there was like very probable that there would be
There's going to be a bunch of bad shit in the news.
Right.
And like she wasn't going to be able to talk to me. So if she's watching the news and it's like 5 soldiers killed today in Afghanistan, you know, well, then she's going to be like, damn, was he killed? I ain't talked to him in a week or two, you know, so.
But it always scared me. Like I was always like looking out the door, you know what I'm saying? Like thinking like, I don't know, I'm moderating. What did I miss? We're just talking about Sean being deployed and stuff like that. So I was always worried.
But yeah,
that I was gonna that something was gonna happen. But when we did get to talk, we got to talk a good bit. Like there would be like days where I would talk to him for like 2 hours on the phone. You know, like I'm sure that cut into his sleep time or whatever. But there were times where we did get to talk a good bit, thankfully.
Oh,
but
that picture right there, like my hair standing up, it was like it had permanent hair gel in it.
But it was just like
I ain't had a shower. I ain't had a shower in like a month. You know, our clothes ain't been washed in I don't know how long. Like I remember digging in my laundry bag trying to find the cleanest pair of dirty clothes that I had, right? And like my uniform had turned white, right? Because from sweat and like the salt in my sweat just building up in my uniform. Crazy. Like my pants would stand up by themselves, and I just thought it was hilarious. You know, they were so stiff, and like we ain't had a shower in forever because the one shower we had like a stall that we had built, and we were always on the go, and there was like a stall there, and you could take like a water bottle shower, right? But there was no curtain, and we were like right in this city in Iraq, and we would get shot at all the time inside our fob, right? So we would take like sniper shot. Matter of fact, the first like it might have been the first day we were at that fob. Like we like walked out of our building. And as soon as we walked out of our building, there was a house behind, like right out on the other side of the wall. And like 3 guys started shooting at us from there. It was like one of my first time, you know, little ticks, like gunfights, right? And so we ended up blowing that house up though. We got rid of that one. Because we didn't like how close it was to the wall. So, like, you didn't take a shower because you didn't want to be butt naked getting shot at, right? So you didn't take a shower. You know, you just might wash your hair. And then you're so tired that you didn't care about taking a shower. Like, you're like, man, if I got 30 minutes of downtime, I'm going to sleep, you know? That's all you cared about was sleeping. Yeah, if we would have been married when I was in Iraq, you wouldn't have talked to me hardly at all, you know. But my first deployment, I was a Cab Scout. And my second deployment, I reclassified as infantry with a National Guard unit and deployed to Afghanistan with an infantry unit. We're with the Afghan army in Afghanistan, and it was our job to like train them up and make sure that, you know, they have whatever equipment they needed and like take care of our little area, right? Like we got contractors to build a school there and you know, stuff like that. Train and every time the Afghan army pretty much got shot at, they got us to do their dirty work, you know, pretty much. They would like fall back scared.
Yeah.
And we would go in and like handle business. So,
if the United States of America ever gets successfully invaded by a foreign country, what country do you think it would be?
Maybe China.
Russia.
China or maybe China and Russia. I don't know. I don't
did-
think it'll ever be successfully invaded. I mean, it might be invaded, but I don't think it would be a success.
Good night, Forever a Fighter. Thank you for hopping on with us. Did Elle send you any packages when you were deployed?
Oh yeah,
Sure did.
So many packages.
I wrote him a letter every day, but I didn't send them every day. But I wrote a letter. Sometimes I would send, 5 or 6 letters at a time. It took a long time for him to get them though. I would send him macaroni and cheese, and what was some of the stuff that you would ask for? Twizzlers,
Macaroni and cheese and Slim Jims.
Slim Jims.
I lived off of that. I would make the macaroni and cheese, heat water up, or we had a microwave when I was back in. I was in Afghanistan, so we had a microwave, and I would make the macaroni and cheese and then tear up the Slim Jims and throw them in the macaroni and cheese, and that's what I ate.
That's actually pretty good. I've ate that before.
I ate a lot, so.
He would ask for me to send stuff for him to give to the kids over there, like little balls and stuff. Sean, what was your job while you were deployed?
So I just answered that question a while ago.
Oh, did you? I missed out on that one.
Yeah.
So here is actually Caden, and here is Paris. And there's me looking goofy for some reason. I don't know why I have that weird.
Oh, man. She used to smile like that all the time.
So goofy.
That was her real smile. She had this fake smile for her pictures, right? And I used to tell her, that's your fake smile,
My whole family knows my face.
That was her real smile. When she was laughing, that was her real smile. It still is, but she looks a lot, I don't know, she's kind of morphed into a different person.
Did we look at this one already?
Oh, I don't know.
I feel like we have. I'm just changed over time. Yeah, I think we have. Yay. Eli, go to bed, buddy. Babe, there was one in front of the ottoman in your room.
Here, this one right here.
He could have this one. Oh, okay. Eli, it is way past your bedtime. What you doing?
What time is it? Yeah,
10:30.
You need to go brush your teeth and go to bed.
All right. Here's another photo.
Yeah, but I mean,
this was me and him in San Antonio.
the puppy's good now. He's good, or she's
good.
She is good. She wouldn't move.
No,
And
she wouldn't.
anytime she moved, she would whimper. But she go back to that picture. I ain't seen that picture in a minute. Man, you're so good looking.
You were so good.
You're so good looking.
I think you said you were. Thank you, babe. Thank you. I appreciate that. You are too. Here's me. I don't know what I'm telling you, but it looks like I'm complaining or something, but I wasn't. Here's the hubby. Him and my brother took a trip to Arkansas to go camping. And I pulled these pictures.
Back when I was in shape, huh?
Our son Eli, I swear to God, that's like Eli's head on Sean's body. Eli looks so much like that.
Mm-hmm. He used to be a stud, huh?
Still are, baby. We're just getting older.
Yeah. I got gray hair. Weigh about 25 more pounds, probably more than that. Hell.
When Sean come home, I think maybe you told me this about when you come home from Afghanistan, Iraq, the smell of laundry detergent made him ill because they were not. Their clothes didn't get washed. They didn't smell smelly things that smelled good. You know what I'm saying?
When I came home, I could smell everything from a mile away, and you don't smell laundry detergent in your clothes until you don't wash your clothes for like a month and you're not around anybody who smells good or has laundry detergent, right? So like when I came home and everything was like, man, it like gave me a headache. The smell of my clothes, the smell. I went to the mall to like get some clothes, and like I could smell women's perfume from like a mile away, right? It was so crazy. I had like this crazy sense of smell but like because we live here in America and we experience it every day, you know, you don't smell it. It's crazy how that works, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, here's a picture of Coco when he had his cast. Sweet baby.
mad.
He was, and here he is when he was born. Literally so cute.
Yeah.
Thinking about showing that picture of him with, I don't know.
Thank y'all. I
Because
mean,
other people will take it and
they had a little Veterans Day thing
at the school
today, and like one of my sons was in it, and he was like singing at the top of his lungs.
It was so good. It was because
it was pretty cool.
And he's our son that's got Asperger's, you know, and he loves to sing. He loves Michael Jackson, the music, not the person. He loves the music because he loves
He
music.
likes the way he dances.
He likes the way he dances. So today at like 9:00 this morning, we were at the school and they had this program, and one of the songs that they sang was "Thank a Veteran," and he was swaying and I was like, I love it. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah. You got a video of it, but show it, but
it'll get demonetized.
Yeah. It was just cool to see.
I'm gonna read the lyrics though, because actually
it was cool to see him up there like singing like that, you know.
And really, it like, swear to God, I was like sitting there, I was like almost brought a tear to my eye because the lyrics, and then like my husband's a vet, you know, so I'm gonna read the lyrics, and then like to look out and see like my son like singing it at the top of his lungs, and he knows his dad is a veteran too. And like I asked him this morning, I was like, does your class know that your dad's a veteran? He was like, yeah, I told him. Like all the kids are like happy, you know, they're like, oh, my dad was a soldier, you know what I'm saying? So for the freedom to go anywhere you want without fear, thank a veteran. Thank a veteran. For the freedom to choose what you read and write and what you hear, thank a veteran. For the freedom to select the church that you wish to attend, thank a veteran. Thank a veteran fighting so courageously for our life and liberty. For the freedom to speak freely and protest the government, thank a veteran. For the freedom to pick leaders who will represent your voice, thank a veteran. This day and every day, thank a veteran. This day and every day, thank a veteran. And like I'm like listening to that, and I'm like, man, we take for granted what we have here. Like people want to talk about like how crappy America is, you know, and how there's so much injustice in America. And I agree, there's a lot of injustice here. But one thing is that we have people that have fought for our rights to say and do as we please.
To even talk about the injustice.
To even talk about the injustice, yes. And I made this post.
I don't think Iraq and Afghanistan was about freedom for America or nothing. So, you know, it would be nice if what that song said was true. But, you know, I guess like when you look at like World War II veterans and stuff like that, you know, then it is true, you know, but.
Well, no, still to this day, while the agenda for sending us there was not that, I think all the soldiers, they go thinking, I'm doing this to protect America for their freedom. So other people don't have to. I want to read this. So I posted this today. A veteran is someone who at one point in their life wrote a blank check made payable to the United States of America for an amount of up to and including their life. That's what these men in the uniform do. You know, the flag represents something to them. So like it,
And women.
yeah, men and women. I'm sorry. For some reason, I always go to men, but it's men and women. But that's why when like things happen, you know, people want to say my husband don't have the right to do this. In my mind, I'm like, my husband got the right to say what he feels. My husband has the right to his opinion. My husband don't get on here and attack people. He don't, and I'm not talking about any specific thing. I'm just saying, like, even out in this world, when somebody wants to gripe about something concerning my husband, if somebody wants to gripe about the fact that my husband interrupts me and they don't like it, I'm like, my husband he fought for your right to even get to say that to us, you know, but he also fought for his right to believe the way he believes, to say the things that he says, and to do what he wants to do, just like you do. Like, you get to do those things, and it's because of him and all the other people that wear that uniform, you know. So it definitely means something to me, and yes, I do too, Liz. And I just hate that I feel like people have just like disregarded what our flag really means. Like, the flag to me doesn't represent injustice and racism. The flag to me represents, like, I don't have a problem with people protesting. That is a-okay with me. I think people should be able to protest. And I think our soldiers, that's one of the reasons they fight, for your right to protest. But I'm not gonna lie, like I have this fine line where, like, when I feel like the flag is kind of being disrespected, it bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Because I know what that flag means to me, to him, and I was alongside of him as he was fighting in a war for everything that flag represents. And today they had this ceremony where they folded the flag in front of everybody that was there, and in front of the kids. And you actually fold the flag 13. There's 13 folds in a flag, and obviously it represents the first 13 colonies of the United States. But also, as you fold it, there's other things that each one represent. And I didn't know this, but I'm gonna see if I can find it.
Look up 13 folds of the American flag. 13 fold meaning would work.
Okay. So obviously, let me go back. It represents the original 13 colonies of the United States. Each fold also carries its own meaning. According to the description, some folds symbolize freedom, life. They pay tribute to mothers, fathers, and those who have served in the armed forces. I want to go through each one.
What are you doing? Okay. We'll just move her over.
The first fold of our flag is a symbol of life. The second fold signifies our belief in eternal life. The third fold is made in honor and tribute of the veteran departing our ranks and who gave a portion of his or her life for the defense of our country to attain peace. What TV is that?
I think in our bedroom.
The fourth fold exemplifies our weaker nature as citizens, trusting in God. It is to him we turn for his divine guidance. The fifth fold is an acknowledgement to our country, for in the words of Stephen Decatur, our country, and align with other countries, may she always be right, but it is still our country, right or wrong. May she always be right, but she is still our country, right or wrong. The sixth fold is from where our hearts lie. It is within our hearts that we pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic of which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The seventh fold is to tribute to our armed forces, for it is through armed forces that we protect our country and our flag against all enemies. The eighth fold is a tribute to the one who entered into the valley of the shadow of death, that we might see the light of day, and to honor our mother from whom it flies on Mother's Day. The 9th fold is an honor to womanhood, for it has been through their faith, love, and loyalty and devotion that the character of men and women who have made this country great have been molded. The 10th fold is a tribute to the father, for he too has given his sons and daughters for the defense of our country since he or she was first born. The 11th fold is in the eyes of Hebrew citizens, represent the lower portions of the seal of King David and King Solomon, and glorifies in their eyes the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The 12th fold in the eyes of a Christian citizen represent an emblem of eternity and glorifies in their eyes God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. The last fold, when the flag is completely folded, the stars are uppermost, reminding us of our nation's motto, "In God We Trust." So I learned all of this today while our kids was doing this program. They had several vets come and they did this performance where they folded the flag and one read this out. I'm pretty sure Sean knew this, but I didn't know. Tribute to the flag. I was so proud of him. That's awesome, Leanne. Right. I agree, Tamara. I have it in a video as the Army folds a flag at my dad's funeral. They say what you're reading about folding the flag stands for. See, I've never seen them fold a flag like that. My mom's dad was a veteran. He served. So when he passed away, they did the 13 shot salute or whatever. What's it called, you guys? Where they shoot the guns. What is it called? Sean knows what I'm talking about. They folded the flag. My grandmother got the flag.
So they shoot the guns up in the air.
It's called something. But I didn't know. I don't know. I think, before I married Sean, 21 gun salute, 13 salute, I think. I think it's the 21. I think it's 21 gun salute. But yeah, before I married Sean, I didn't think about our freedom. I knew there were soldiers. I knew soldiers went on deployments, but I just never thought about any of it. Being married to him really made me appreciate it. So I have very strong feelings when it comes to the flag, when it comes to military. Ellie Mae. Bed, son. I thought I was wrong. Thanks, Liz and Leanne. I think I said 13 something, like 13 guns, something, 13. I think I said something. So that's probably why you said that, because I kind of put it out there. But yeah, so I'm very proud of my veteran here. One thing that I can say is he is a man's, he is a man, you know what I'm saying? He's not like one of these little wimpy little boys that cries over everything. Even outside of deployment, he worked offshore. It's the other shoulder, babe. He worked offshore, and never once did he complain over the fact that he was working 12 hours in a freaking hailstorm in 15-degree weather or whatever. He just did it. But I know other people that couldn't even do it, would go to work offshore and couldn't do it. Just couldn't do it. They were not strong enough to do it, So you're awesome, babe.
Hey, somebody said something about us interrupting each other.
Mm-hmm.
What'd they say?
Something about us interrupting each other. I don't really remember, but it was just something about us interrupting each other. And I was like, I apologize. I'm sure that's probably aggravating to watch at times, but we do it, but we try not to.
We try to stay on the same subject, though. We're both talking about something.
Well, the other night when I was live, I had this agenda that I wanted to get going. And he's like, the dog. Let me show you guys the dog. I really want to show you. And I'm like,
I know, but I was getting tired, and I wanted to show the dog, and the stuff was just getting like
Yeah.
getting to me, and I'm like, man, I just want to show this dog off so I can get the hell out of here.
That was a long live stream that I did not
Yeah.
intend to do, like
That
go
was
that
so
long.
And I'm like,
But you guys know me when I go to talk and I
step
can
by
talk.
step, and I'm like,
Day by
I
day.
don't want to be here. for
Step
this
by
anymore.
step.
Like I was cool, but then it got to a certain point where I'm like,
Making it better.
I gotta go. Like I don't want to be here for this.
My grandfather and my grandfather were on the Navy. My grandfather was in my former husband's Army. Yeah. Okay. So you like, it means something to you, you know? Yeah. You kiss normally, not like, hey. Yeah. We give pecks all the time. We don't spend a lot of time with each other, but like anytime I'm leaving the house or anytime he's leaving the house,
She gives me a kiss.
yeah. We give each other a kiss.
But she's mad at me.
And then I'm like,
Then she's like, gives me the bird and like rides off.
I'm like, I'm going to the store. Not really. No, I don't.
You have before.
Have I?
Yeah,
Have
it was
I fucked you up?
long time ago.
Pluto.
leaving. Oh,
Yeah,
well, you gonna make her
I
mad.
may have. Yeah, Sean, when he gets tired, you could see it in his eyes. He almost looked like he'd been puffing on some like marijuana or something. I'm surprised you haven't been accused of doing drugs. Like the times that you've got on here, like super tired, falling asleep. Sean literally can fall asleep while standing in the refrigerator. Like I've like gotten up. Hey, Lindsay, was you here earlier, Lindsay? Because I did not see you.
I can sleep wherever.
Wherever. I've literally. Is that your hair? Yeah. I've literally like gotten up in the middle of the night and walked to the kitchen, and Sean's standing there with the refrigerator door open, asleep. And I'm like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Am I going to do something crazy and mess with him? Or am I going to wake him up? And usually I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, Sean, Sean's mom said that this started after his like first deployment. But when you wake this fool up, it's always like he's waking up and he's not knowing what he's waking up to. He always wakes up like back when we first got married.
Go.
He would literally, I was scared to wake him up because I would, like the times that I did at first, I would wake up and he would be drawing his arm back like, and I'd be like, hey, it's just me. Don't punch me. He's a little bit better now, but he's like, he still wakes up and it's like, he don't draw his arm back like to hit anybody, but he used to like pull it back and I'm like, no, it's me. But yeah, so.
I think I came home. I think when I came home on leave, I grabbed my mama.
Your mom
threw her down like when she woke me up, and I didn't even know. Like I don't remember what happened. She said something like that. I grabbed her and like threw her down when she woke me up, but I don't remember. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't remember what
she told me
said,
something like that. That like
Yeah, I
she
don't
woke
remember
you
what
up
she
and you
said.
like, I don't know. So yeah, like threw her down or something because you were like still kind of like it was right after you come home.
Yeah, I think it was like when I came home on leave for like 15 days, right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And Iraq was a man. That was a Iraq was a daggone.
Rita.
I mean, it was on there. Like,
Rita, what are you doing? So you guys, in my pre-recorded videos, if you guys hear like, go tell him I said that. Why are the kids not
I don't
asleep?
know. I don't know. They won't go to sleep. You know Coco though.
Is that Coco? Thought the kids were asleep, but apparently not. Oh, sorry, looking at my security system. My daddy would throw something at you or hit you when he came back from Vietnam. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Sean was like draw back arm, and I'd be like, no, please don't, no, don't. Don't do it. No. I beg of you. Anyways, so if you guys hear like a dang-a-lang, Not no. If you guys hear like metal jingling, not a dangling, a dangling, a dangling. But if you guys hear metal, go to bed. If you guys hear metal, it's our new pup. Her name was Pluta, but Sean really wants to call her Rita, which is actually one of Kennedy's nicknames. So now when I'm like, Rita, the dog and Kennedy look at me and I'm like, this one.
Yeah,
but anyways.
Kenny Rita.
Yeah, we call Rita Kenny Rita. But
Sometimes
anyway, sometimes I call her Rita too. But so if you guys hear that, it's the pup. And if you guys hear like crunching like that, listen.
She's chewing on
A bone.
Yeah. Bought her like a bone, and then I saw that, you're not supposed to give a dog like a real bone. But, whatever. I'm not gonna get her anymore after this. I'm not gonna take that one from her. She seems to enjoy it.
She does. She really likes it. And when I film, she likes to be back there with me. So I don't want to kick her out. I don't want to be like, get out of here. Because she's new to the family.
You walk outside barefoot?
I wore my slides for most of the day today.
Going back to the old school. Around with dirty.
Don't act like I always had dirty feet. I didn't know you could hear fang-a-lang, dang-a-lang, dang-a-lang, ding-a-king. Yeah. Don't talk about like I had dirty feet. I have never been a dirty foot person.
First time I seen her.
That was not me.
That was definitely.
Have I ever been a dirty foot person? Is my feet ever dirty?
No, but
okay then.
But I guess like white flip flops were in style back then.
No, I don't wear dingy flip flops.
Yeah.
No, here's the story though. I did have this really pretty wear of white flip flops, and this was back in the day when like flip flops and like capri, like kind of baggy capri pants were in style. And I had these really cute white flip flops, and my cousin liked them, so she asked to borrow them, and I was like, "Yeah, sure." Well, she is a dirty foot person, and when I got my flip flops, my sparkly. Good night, Jennifer. My sparkly flip flops. They were dirty. They were dingy. They were no longer white and sparkly. They were
white and dirty.
Dirty.
They had some white spots.
One day I was going to one of my best friend's house. Her name was Brooke, his cousin. I was pregnant. I was in a hurry. The dirty flip flops were right there, and I just slipped them on and took off to Brooke's house because I needed to talk to her really quick about something. And I didn't know that anybody was there. I just thought my friend Brooke was there.
So she just bust up in the house. I bust
in the house because we don't knock. And he's like sitting in the recliner, and I'm like, "Where's Brooke?" And he's like, "Back there." So I'm like, and I'm big and pregnant, wearing these dirty flip flops because I was in a hurry.
Big old white shirt. White t-shirt.
You're painting me to look a certain way.
No, I mean,
I was pregnant. I was just at the house cleaning and
I've
stuff.
never seen her look like that any other time. But she like busts up, and I'm like, "Who the hell is this?" I'm like, "Damn, they trash it around here." I'm just kidding.
That was the only time he ever seen me looking crazy. After that, the next time, I don't know what's going on. I can't hear or see anything. Really? Is anybody else having that problem?
I don't know, but I'm really tired. So
yeah, we're about to get off.
I'm not going to last much longer.
No.
Good night, everybody. Where's my phone? Where have my phone? I got it in my pocket.
So yeah, I was like pregnant, about to give birth to Paris. So I put on these flip-flops that my cousin had literally been having for like 2 weeks, and they were dingy at this point, and I wore them over there, and he literally don't let me live that down. Like, remember that time I saw you had them dirty flip-flops on, and you had that baggy white t-shirt on, you look crazy. And I'm like, stop. That wasn't me.
That was probably like 20 years ago too.
Well, it was like 17 years ago because it was when
Yeah, it was a long.
Katie Joy got her YouTube upgrade. I have no, what is a YouTube upgrade? I have no idea. I'm not sure. OnlyFans? She got an OnlyFans? Please don't tell me she got OnlyFans. Oh my God. That's not what you're saying. Surely you're not saying she got OnlyFans. Because that would be crazy. Crazy for feeling. I'm not a singer. But anyways, I wanted to do a stream. First off, I wanted to I was gonna do a member stream because I was like, I haven't done a member stream yet this month, and I really need to do a member stream. But then I was like, well, it is Veterans Day, and my hubby is a veteran. I need to spend the day with him, like spend the evening with him, because we went to our son's Veterans Day program. We checked him out of school after the program, and then me, him, and Kenny and Sean, we went to eat together, and that was nice. We came home, and I went right to work with working, and then Sean went to work on Paris's car because he had to like do something. There's a part that was broke, they had to fix. Then I had to run up to the school to check Paris out because she had a dentist appointment, and then I had her run me home, and I went back to work, and she left to go to her dentist appointment. I worked until the kids got home from school, and then right after they got home from school, I started like making something to eat, and then Caden called. His football practice was over, so I went to go get Caden from football practice. Eli wanted to go to one of his friends' house down the street, so I dropped Eli off at a friend's house, went and got Caden from practice, come back, but right before I picked Caden up, my sister called and was like, hey, we're going to the wake. We're going to swing by and pick you up. And I was like, okay, I so forgot. So many things going on. Okay, I'll be ready. My great uncle passed away, so they had his wake tonight. So I'm just about to get home, and Paris calls. She's at practice. She's like, Mom, I need my boots. And I need a hoodie because we're outside practicing, and we're practicing our jump split. So I need the boots. And I was like, oh my goodness, Flossie's going to be at the house in a little bit to pick me up for the wake. And I have to like kind of touch my makeup up a little bit. So I come home, hurried up, grabbed her things, took them up there to her, stopped back by Eli's friend's house on the way back, picked him up, come home, put like school clothes, laundry on to wash, touched my makeup up a little bit, and Flossie was here to pick me up. Actually, I ran to the dollar store right before that as well. Anyways, come back, touched my makeup up. Flossie come and got me. We went to the wake, and we stayed there for like 2 hours. I literally got home at like 8:30. Signed up on Dakota's homework, switched the clothes out, took khaki pants out of the dryer, folded them up, and then I set up the live stream, and that's been our day. Sean fixed the car, come in, took a shower, and then he dealt with the kids while I was going to the wake. So it's been a day. But literally, I swear our days are literally always like jam-packed like that anyways. So most of the time we are doing a lot of stuff, and we're not spending time with each other because we're busy. But so I was like, yeah, it's Veterans Day, maybe we could watch TV. Dakota is healing so well. He is so strong, and he is so tough. He still has stitches, and he told us, he was like, it looks normal again. He was like, well, except the bottom. The bottom looks weird because that's where the stitches are. But yeah, normally if we like try to watch a movie, we fall asleep. But we have started watching this Netflix show called The Blacklist. And if you guys have not watched it, it is so interesting. Yeah, I need more things to do. Today I drank 1 Red Bull and a coffee. I've had people comment and be like, why do you feel the need to like list off everything that you do? We're all busy. We all have kids. We're all running behind our kids. And I'm like, yeah, I know we are. But when I'm talking to my people about what I did that day, that's why I list off what I did. And really, I think, you know, I don't know, we're super busy. And sometimes it's just nice to talk about it, to kind of talk about like how crazy our life can be.
I wonder if they were talking about like how I listed off everything you did. But I did that to point out
Maybe.
the fact that we had our own shit going on.
Crap.
Our own crap going on. While somebody was expecting you to support them, you know, we got like a bunch of stuff going on, so we're not thinking about, you know, you're not thinking.
Yeah. I mean, I'm good friends with several creators, and I don't think about them at times because I'm just like so much going on with myself, but it's not to be rude or negative or ugly. But anyways, yeah. So ignore the haters, girl. We're all friends here, just talking about life. Yes. And if you watch this on a replay and you feel the need to like gripe about something, I'm sorry, whatever it is, I'm sorry. I just hope you guys can be here and have a good time. That's what I want. I do this because I love hanging out with you guys, and I'm a talker, as you guys can see. And I love talking to y'all. So tomorrow's Friday, so we have a football game Friday night. I do have a video that I need to edit and upload. It is a video about Christine Brown and her saying that she lost weight, that she started losing weight because Cody Brown fat shamed her. So I'm going to talk about that. I got a video about that. I did not have time to edit it today because of everything else that was going on. But I have 16, 13, 6-year-old grandchildren, but I'm not as busy as you are. Yeah, some people, you know, I mean, the more kids you have, the more busier that you're going to be. We've had a lot going on lately, just with football, dance line, doctor's appointments, and all of that. It's been a lot, but we make it work. So yeah, I'm going to get off because it's 11:07. I'm going to eat something because I'm hungry. As far as others needing so much of your time, YouTube is part of your life, not your whole life. Some people don't know how to separate that. Enjoy your family. This is work. That's true. That is very true. Y'all hear that ding-a-ling-a-ling? But yeah, the Blacklist is so good. It's about this this man who was in the Navy. He was married. He had a daughter, and he was on his way home, and he come up missing. And then something happened to the wife, so the child was put up for adoption. She became this FBI agent, and at the very day that she was like promoted to this special team or whatever, this man who had been wanted for like 20 years, that was like one of the most wanted men, surrendered himself to the FBI, but he said he would not talk to anyone except that FBI agent that had just been promoted. So they had to bring her in, and she was like, he wants me because I'm new and he thinks I'm vulnerable and he'll be able to like manipulate me, but like that's not going to be the case. And then he starts giving them details about all these like very high targeted like criminals that the FBI didn't even know existed. That like there was this one guy that he kills people, but he makes it look like accidents. So the FBI didn't even know he existed. He would, you know, the plane would crash, or he would make it appear like someone overdosed. It was all these. He would give them these people. Tell them this is who they are. This is what they're about to do. You need to stop it. So they would do that. But it's this really crazy twist to it. He starts telling the woman, he's like, you need to figure out who your husband is. Your husband is not who he thinks he is. Well, someone breaks in their house and like stabs her husband. And he's like in a coma. And while he's in a coma, she's like taking the carpet up because there was blood all over the carpet. And she finds this box underneath the floor in their house. and it has like passports with his picture, but different names for him, a ton of money, a pistol. So she actually fires the gun and brings it in and has a ballistics report ran on it. And it comes back a hit that gun was used in a murder that happened years earlier. And the murder happened in another state. Well, it just so happened at that time they were in that state because he had a job interview. So now, and she's being told by this man, you can't trust your husband. He's not who he says he is. So then she's like, oh my God, did my husband kill this man? Who is he? Why does he have these passports and every date that was marked on these passports that he left the States? He was gone for me, or we were going at, like, he was like, one was like his bachelorette party. It said that he went to Paris, and she's like, I've never seen any pictures from your bachelorette party. And he's like, you won't, I went to Las Vegas, like, whatever. And she's like, well, this passport says you, because she did end up confronting him with it or whatever. He says that nothing had, that he don't know how it got there, that like something to do with her FBI stuff, that he's being framed. So she ends up turning him in to the FBI, and she's like, they're going to run through our life with a fine tooth comb. So if you're hiding something from me, please tell me. And he's like, I swear I'm not. So she brings him in and they do all this background information. It's called The Blacklist. It's on Netflix, and it is probably one of the best shows I have watched, and I'm loving it. If I don't finish editing that video that I made, I maybe me and Sean will watch another another episode tonight. But it is literally so good. I was going to try to show you guys. It's like a series. There's like seasons. I think there's like 9 seasons. Hey, Heather. It's an intense show. Yes. My daddy went to Iraq twice. His wife cheated on him. I'm behind in the video. Sorry. That's okay, Lauren. You're from North LA? Really? Because I'm from North LA too. Just trying to make sure you and Sean take time. Oh, that's something else, Tamara. So Sean's birthday is coming up in a few days, you guys. 11/21 is Sean's birthday. And we are going to go out for dinner and a movie. Not on the 21st, more than likely. It may be like on the 19th or 20th. Maybe on the 21st, because I just found out today that Paris has Sadie Hawkins that weekend as well. So got to try to figure out when we're going to. But you guys, I'll have to see if we have it over here. I don't always get the same show as there in the U.S. It is literally such a good show. I hope you guys do. He's been all these wives and kids that went out of his way to fight for. Yeah. Yes, it's just going to be us. We got a sitter for the kids. So I'm excited. Lindsay said, I'm up. Yeah, I don't know. I have a video that I need to edit, but I kind of just want to watch some more of The Blacklist. But I'm really trying to keep on in my videos. Because I've told you guys this before. This month is our December check. So I'm really trying to make sure I hit it hard this month so we get a good check for next month. So because it's going to be Christmas money. But anyways, yeah. So I'm glad I got to hang out with y'all guys. I'm glad you guys got to hang out with me. Glad to hear you two have to. Yes, I'm excited. Gonna go to a good restaurant. Probably either go to, there's this steakhouse that Sean really likes. But our kind of go-to is a hibachi bar and grill. We really like that. But anyways, I'm going to do a member stream. I can't do it tomorrow night because we have a football game. But maybe Monday night, I'll shoot for Monday night a member stream. And we'll chit-chat and hang out. How long did I go tonight? 2 hours? Sorry. You guys know I'll be doing some long streams. She got Sadie Hawkins dance. So Paris got the Sadie Hawkins dance like the 20th. Also, Paris was nominated to represent the Explorers Club in the Miss Merry Christmas pageant. So what happens is the school, they have all these clubs like FBLA, Tiger dance line. They had, football. Well, not football because we don't have girls that play on the football team, but they have all these clubs, Beta, FBLA, FFA, 4-H, and each club, they nominate a female to represent their club in the Miss Merry Christmas pageant. Now, the Explorers Club, everybody is in. Everybody's in the Explorers Club. So all the juniors voted on who they wanted to represent the Explorers Club. Well, Paris won. She was voted by all the juniors to represent the Explorers Club for the junior class. She's not done a pageant since she was 3. So she's super nervous. She's very, 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 very shy. When she gets in front of people, she kind of gets a little awkward because she's so totally opposite of me. But she was just so over the moon that she was nominated, but now she's terrified of this pageant. So we got to get another pageant dress, and we also have to get almost like the homecoming maids outfits, and she has to sell tickets. And if you sell the most tickets, you win a prize. You will win for selling the most tickets, right? There's there's going to be, Miss Merry Christmas, first, second, third, and then whoever sold the most tickets will win for that. The only problem is the tickets are to the pageant. Because I'm like, oh, if we just got to sell tickets, I can sell some tickets, but it's to the pageant. And none of my YouTube people can go to the pageant. So I'm still gonna, and there's only so many people that can go. And there's other people. Lindsay said, yes, we will be there for Studio B. Yay! At the beginning of the year, I'm going to put Kennedy in Studio B. Place your little sneezer in the back. I know. I'll buy a ticket, love. Oh, thank you, Lindsay. I will definitely get with you on that. Does she have to do a talent? That's what she said. She was like, oh my God, Mama, am I going to have to talk? And I was like, probably. She was like, am I going to have a talent? I'm like, I don't know. I hope not. I mean, she's talented to me, which if she has to do a talent, maybe it could be dance. I don't know. If we send you money, can you buy a ticket? See, that's what I'm wondering. Elle, you still can sell tickets. We get it. We want to support you. See, I'm not sure because the tickets are to the thing, but it's just weird that they're like, whoever sells the most gets a prize. Because I'm like, well, what if I sell 50 tickets, but the people aren't really coming because they're my YouTube people? Is that going to matter? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm going to find out. The tickets are $5 a piece. But I'll find out and let you guys know if you guys are interested in buying a ticket to nothing because you guys get, or I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if it's against the rules. I was going to say maybe if you guys buy a ticket, you guys can be entered into a giveaway and I'll pick so many winners, 3 winners out of the giveaway to win beauty products or something like that. But I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I don't know if it's against the rules to do that. I don't know. So I'll ask and I'll try to get back with you guys and anybody that it's probably against the rules. It's probably gonna be bribing or something. We can Zoom. I know, right? For sure. I'll find out and I'll let you guys know. But that would be awesome, even if she could win that. I think she's capable of winning Miss Merry Christmas. I know my baby's potential. I know that she is she's beautiful, she's talented in her own, way. Can she sing? I think she's decent, but I don't know. I know she feels like she don't have a talent that she could really put on for what is she going to win for selling tickets? She'll just win most Lindsay, do you know what it's called when you win for selling the most tickets? Most ticket sales, maybe. It's she'll get a crown for it and a stash or something. Other channels give away prizes. DJ Slice. but that's yeah. But if I give away prizes to entice people to buy a ticket for something they can't go to for a pageant, yeah, I don't know. Don't worry, we'll buy a ticket just so she can win. Oh, thank you guys. Well, I'll get with y'all. I'll do another stream soon before the thing is December 13th. So we have to sell as many tickets as we can by December 13th. I'm against YouTube rules and could get in trouble. Yeah, that's true. Acting out a dumb skit can be a talent. Oh, I thought you said acting out a dumb skit. And I'm like, yeah, sure. SNL do it all the time. But you said a drama skit. I'm getting too tired to read. I think you can buy a ticket if you are there or not. Can you? See, I need to give it to school and find out. Because I'm like, if we just got to sell the tickets, I can do that. I'll buy, 20 of my own. Oh, that's a good idea. Coffee and conversations. How about give the tickets away that you sell to people in the community to perhaps people who really can't afford them? That's a good idea. Is this a thing? Or Miss USA? Is that a thing? She could be Miss America. Yeah, there is a Miss America because I actually went to the Miss America pageant years ago when NSYNC performed. Or was it just Justin Timberlake? Think maybe it was just Justin Timberlake that performed. Like Nick Lachey was like the host, I think. I went to it anyways, a long time ago. Yeah, that is a great idea, coffee and conversation. What I can do is I can sell them, write down the names of everybody, and then on my Facebook say, hey, I've sold this many tickets to the pageant, but this many people can't go. So if you guys want to go and you need a ticket, get with me. Maybe I can do something like that. It's a good idea. Well, I'll get with you guys a little bit later about, can you stop it? My child is not going to go to bed until I physically put him to bed. So anyways, I'm going to get off here, but I will get with you guys before it happens, and I can give you guys the information. If you guys want to verify it, like if you guys want to check to make sure this is happening, because, I've been accused of running fraudulent fundraisers when I've never done that a day in my life, but whatever, if it makes you guys feel better. But anyways, or it'll make me feel better if I can, for YouTube, you're selling tickets, we would just be donating to your channel. That's true. Even if you post on a community page for your channel, try to reach out to those less fortunate. Really good way to spread Christmas cheer early. That is so true, Peach. Lindsay, I'm jumping off. Love to see your beautiful face, my bestie. Holla at me on Snap if you want. Yeah, I'll snap you whenever we get off, Lindsay. But anyways, yeah, I'll post something. I'll do a live and we'll talk about it more. Anybody that wants to buy a ticket or, donate to the channel for ticket sales, we can do that sometime next week. Or actually December 13th. I mean, we got a little bit of time, so we'll get it taken care of. Anyways, thank you all for hanging out with me for the past 2.5 hours. I had fun. I know my hubby had fun. This was great conversation. Love talking about his time in the military, and I'm glad that he doesn't mind either. Happy Veterans Day to all the men and women out there that served for our country, still wear the uniform. We appreciate you guys. And until tomorrow, I'll see you guys later. And if you have not caught up on my videos, go do that. I put a video out about John Gosling. He is doing a tell-all, but it's through a hip-hop album. He's going to do a tell-all about his life with Kate Gosselin, the show that they did, John and Kate Plus 8, and the twins and all of that, the twins and the sextuplets and all that, through a hip-hop album. Yes, I didn't know he could rap, but also several videos, that I've posted that you guys could check out to help get them views up. Also, while you're there, give the video a thumbs up just to help push me further into the algorithm. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye, everyone.